Good evening, Mother's Day evening. I had a went to church in Arlington. Made some interesting contacts about my music and the William and Mary film, actually, and then the oral history, and then went to brunch at Freddy's in South Arlington. And then on the way back, encountered a protest and something happened. I'll just show you the two film clips, and then we'll talk a little, provide a little context. The Mother's Day gift. See what the protest is.
571. Hi there. 289.
No, I don't join. I don't join things. I never join anything.
Would you like to join us?
I never join anything. And then the longer widescreen film. No, I'm just.
Yeah, can you please not film us?
What?
Are you filming us for a reason?
Yes, just put it on a blog. You're protesting in public. You want to be filmed. You're protesting. You'll be filmed. You'll be filmed.
It doesn't seem like it's friendly. I don't know if you guys.
Okay, to provide a little context. Yeah, I had parked around the corner about 1,000 feet away in a lot around from the Tesla. The Tesla's right in front of a Tesla dealership and an Exxon gas station next to it. And around the corner there's a park. There's a little park and a little parking lot you can park. It's about 5-minute walk. And I walked over to film this because I had noticed it driving to the brunch before. And they were mad at me for filming them but not joining in with them and being on their side. And they probably are thinking, that I'm a spy and that the government's going to round them up is going to go after them if I'm not on their side or something. And they probably don't completely understand the idea of just putting what things you film, protests you film online for people to find randomly. Now I don't do this for a living because I'm retired. I've talked about that a lot recently. I talked about that particularly in this blog post about commercial viability. But they probably don't fully understand that. I'm not a commercial operation like Deuce to Share is, for example. I don't make a living at it. So they probably think I'm the enemy. They said I wasn't very friendly. And then somebody else said, well, you have a right to be here, but you don't have a right to film us. But they're in a public place. And when you protest in a public place, anybody can film you as long as it's on public property, essentially. If you go inside a private venue, then the private venue can make the rules about who can be in there, just like anything. But if it's out in public, you're demonstrating on a public street, anyone can film you. Whether it's completely ethical, if they don't have to make a living at it, they're doing it for their own sense of contribution as an individual, but they're not willing to join a group or something and sort of join in sociability or something. Maybe that's an ethical issue, and that's what I talk about on that blog post. And I've been very concerned about that. But nevertheless, that's a perfect illustration of this join or die issue. There was a film called that in 2024. I think it was 2024 that I reviewed, Join or Die. And here's this little instance, a perfect example. There are concerns. There are stories, and particularly on more leftist sites, of Trump, including radical transgenderism as a potentially enemy force enemy force or possibly terrorist force that has to be watched carefully, almost like a radical Islam or something. And that's not very realistic to look at it that way, of course not. But the Charlie Kirk assassination and a couple of other incidents, a Catholic school in Minneapolis, I think a problem in British Columbia, a few other incidents recently. But there are plenty of other incidents, of course, that don't involve trans or anything at all, but any other group at all. But just simply the left, like Luigi Mangione, that, many other incidents recently. So, and, we talk about, violence not being an acceptable solution, but history is happening. In fact, one of the placards in that video was history is expecting this of us to resist. One of their posts said that. I need to sip. So I just wanted to make that point. Whether the LGB being forcibly paired with TQ comes to mind as maybe a problem. I mean, gay men have their own, and women their women, their spaces, but gay men with the need for reasonably priced access to anti-HIV medication and for PrEP being reasonably priced. That could be an issue down the line. And then some of the issues, we have our own issues on this gay men potentially. I don't particularly, because I'm not active sexually, because I'm old. Gave blood the other day, as I said, in the recent short. But and we're allowed to do that now. But if you're not active, that is. But some of the demands on women's spaces and involving minors are a real problem. Although I don't think it's fair to put it in the category Trump administration is putting it. And I do think that even medically, there may be more kids, male kids, and you need to be more aware of the possibility of endocrine issues or neurological issues in medicine has been recently. Cleveland Clinic mentioned partial and mild androgen insensitivity is an issue in an online site. I wonder if that's being caught all the time with some of these cases. That might be an issue we need to look at that could make it more, the attention to minors more reasonably based than maybe I've thought it was. So I'm very open-minded to a lot of these things. So I'm not their enemy. But I don't join things. That's right. I don't answer specific, although I give charity in a pre-formatted way. A lot of it has to do with what my mother had, the beneficiaries I have. I do that automatically every month, but I don't answer specific pleas. I don't answer even for journalists. I subscribe to publications, but I don't give to them because I don't want to imply somebody else can speak for me. That joining something is going to speak for me. At my age, I have to kind of make my last years honorable, and having to join things isn't very honorable. One of the worst things would be if anything happened and I had to change my name or something in witness protection or something, or anything like that. But that wouldn't be a very honorable thing to do because I have to live as myself in my last years and stand by my own ideas. So that's what I had. I just wanted to give a little context to those two videos rather than just put them up by themselves. And I do thank you for listening.